For many of us, school is a place where we go to get and create knowledge. And that experience could be your very first capital into creating a force for good.
Now, that is exactly the experience of our entrepreneur today, because the knowledge she picked from school was actually her first capital.
In our wood workshop particularly, we make things from tables. I don't know if you can see the setup behind me. These are also very much products of our wood workshop. So from making display counters, to making beds, to making personalized items, chairs, office furniture, you name it, we can make it in our factory. The really great thing about this is that these pieces of furniture are made in collaboration with a lot of the young people that come through our workspace. That's what makes us unique. We work together with the different communities that we are actually building such that we're able to grow as expansively as an ecosystem. The history of where we are located is actually a space where there's a lot of carpenters that exist around this area. So first and foremost, we thought to ourselves, how do we enhance the capabilities of the many people, business people who actually are running workshops around this place? I mean, if you go around the corner on the one side, you find several furniture workshops selling furniture. You go around the corner on the other side, it's the same thing. So on our side, we wanted to see how best we can, one, enhance market for those different people that have already existed, but also in addition to that, get local buy-in. There's a lot of distrust, especially among carpenters and clients. You'll hear every other person saying something like, carpenters never keep time. I was so disappointed by this service by my carpenter. Or does anybody have a recommendation for a good carpenter? A lot of carpenters do such good work, but the challenge is understanding the different aspects of business that enable your particular practice get to the next level. Things like customer care. Don't lie to customers. When the thing is going to take 3 weeks, say 3 weeks, because that is the capability that you are going to work on or work with. We've centered ourselves within that ecosystem in order to empower so many young people, but also even older people who have already been in the practice, to understand what best business practices are in order for them to be able to earn more money from the products that they make. But also, after all, buy Uganda, build Uganda. We are looking to produce furniture for people who are looking to create furniture large scale. So we're looking at businesses looking to furnish offices. We're looking at people looking to furnish Airbnbs, hotels, because we have a lot of those coming up. So we are looking for that kind of business. But even as we're doing business, again, as I said, we are also looking to impact the lives of the many carpenters that we work with. Our principles that enable us to stay afloat, of course, like there's business best practices, but also it's really primarily bringing in that aspect of business into the artisanal craft of carpentry. So we have professionals on the one hand who are exceptionally skilled, and they're skilled because we have skilled carpenters who are actually passing on their knowledge to young people that we work with. That's number one. Number two, we are also very deliberate about our production processes. So from understanding things like procurement all the way to understanding the point of delivering to the client. So things like those we take very seriously, because customer care, once again, is one of the most important aspects of business, right? When you have one good customer getting a good experience with you, they're the ones who bring in more people. The one big challenge that we faced, and I want to get this message out there, is with young people. Sometimes young people come into this space looking to learn and looking to upskill, but the challenge is they drop out when things get tough or when things get really hot. And for me, my prayer is for young people to, one, if they believe in something and believe in them being greater than they can be, it is pushing through and persevering even when times seem like they're uncertain or that they're tough. Uganda's biggest crisis is youth unemployment. But we have the power in our hands. And so can we take that hunger for work and just turn it into a yearning for learning, to take us to a place where we can all contribute to building the tax base of this country? future plans entail being one of the biggest co-creative spaces, not just in Uganda, but in East Africa. And what that means is that we are able to export a lot of furniture that we can make out of here. We are able to export a lot of textiles that we're making in here. We want to be the go-to place for anybody seeking information within the ecosystem.
At Money and Markets, we're committed to showing you how to make money, grow it, and keep it.
There are three components. One is animal feeding. If you feed the animal very well, on the right amount and different species, production goes up. Health of animals. If you look after the animals, you get the vet doctors to check the animals because they fall sick like human beings, especially the milkers. High milkers fall sick regularly because you see they feed on grass, and sometimes grass has a lot of bacteria, has got a lot of flukes, etc. So the health of animals, and then sadly the breed you are keeping. So if you get the right breed, you look after its health very well, you feed it very well, it will give you maximum rate. And you need to give it some kind of love. Animals respond. You need to show them that you love them, you feed them very well, you treat them very well. Now when you go to the health of animals, that is very tricky. In our country, acaricides have been, I think there is a lot of forgery. You can't remove ticks with the present acaricides, and yet the price is too high. Now, a cow gives you milk and you make money, but once it falls sick, it is expensive to treat the animals. Now, government has betrayed us. The government has managed drugs. They have drugs for people. We have health centers for people, but there are no health centers for animals. You can go to the health center and get treated free, but the animal is expensive. Even if you get a veterinary person from the district, you must pay transport, you must pay for the drugs. But the worst is acaricides. Those are very funny. But we keep struggling here and there, trying from this side, from this one to this one, to ensure that you keep the animals.
Effective and sustainable innovations and businesses are built on solving societal problems.
At least that's the message we're getting from our brothers in the ICT subsector. Today, there are many applications that are developed to address some of the key problems that society is contending with. Take, for instance, this application that has been built to help those with hearing problems.
The background behind the development of Warrior App was based on on what we see on the clinical wards. That's for patients who come with tuberculosis. Normally, patients who receive medication of tuberculosis that is resistant to the first-line regimen, the medication has effects on our ears, and some will present with hearing loss in the long term. We also realize that they are required to do periodic hearing loss screening as they're on this medication. The facility that we have, the public facility that is used to conduct this test, is based at Mulago, and conducting the test can be quite costly. If you go to private settings, it will cost you about 50,000 to 100,000 to do the hearing loss screening test. So the idea that is behind Warrior App is to come up with a cost-effective alternative. And we thought that if we develop a mobile phone application, well knowing that mobile phone penetration in Uganda is increasing, we believe that people will have easy access to these screening services, that having realized that the major barrier would be the cost. Currently, the platform or Yeah, the platform may not allow people who are not trained to conduct the test by themselves. The team is working to find an easy way of bringing out the layout so that any person who is not trained can do it at home. So currently it is mainly done by an audiologist. And if you look at the window, so after creating an account, it will give you access to the platform. You need to have headphones, preferably noise cancelling headphones. And then you do a new test. You see the test session you enter this is Andrew. Semulimi, and click OK. So this is a new test. So we have the left ear and then the right. So you see the middle play button. Then as you increase the frequencies, this is a button used to increase the frequencies. You can so it starts from 125. It can go up to 8 kilohertz. And then you also have the amplitude, which is decibels. It starts from -10 to 100 decibels. So when you up the frequencies, if you're able to hear the sound, you press, you first identify the ear that you'll be testing, either it's left or right. So if it's left, you click on left, then when the frequency is increased at 0, you press play. Then you keep on alternating the frequencies. You can either increase 250 as you press play if it's hard, then 500, press play. You can also up the decibels to 10 as you increase the frequencies, then you press play. You do the same for the right. As the test is conducted, the first thing that we do is to get the baseline values or the baseline frequencies that you can listen to. So after getting the baseline frequencies, then the adjustments, the audiologist makes various adjustments depending on the guidelines available. They make various adjustments as you respond as to whether you have heard the sound or not. So when you have heard the sound, press OK, then they will go to either a lower frequency or a higher frequency to assess for either high frequency or low frequency hearing loss. The major challenge is funding, and also we believe that probably the government of Uganda, it has, for example, it has funded us twice to bring this up to speed currently. We believe that for it to be able to recoup its investment, this is a service that we are offering. A service that is proving to be useful. All it just has to do is probably through, I think that its business policy is to earmark or just direct us to where we can utilize the app. Our future plans currently is we want to continue validating the app in the general population as well as while comparing it with other apps that are available. We're also planning to build an artificial intelligence algorithm that can run or that can look at the audiograms and then give you a definite diagnosis or refer you for further review to either to undergo more checks with a pure tone audiometer or to see an audiologist or the ear, nose, throat doctor.
Now we've come to the end of this week's edition of Money and Markets. Thank you so much for always being a part of the show.
And we don't take that for granted. We treasure that. I'd like to keep the discussion going. So again, come on our digital channels and let's have the discussion on with your comments, questions, or suggestions. I've been your host, Charles Woji.
And I'm Shamim K. Matovu.
Until next time, have a good evening. God bless.